Hi everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. You have come to a fun place for busy and ambitious women and moms that are just trying to look and feel our very best, as we're working towards looking our best, but our body is working against us, it seems like. We are all about getting quick pieces of valuable information, product reviews, makeup application tips and techniques to help you on your busy schedule, look and feel your best while keeping your busy life together. Today's video falls right into that category because we're going to talk about beauty products that are probably working against your efforts to look more youthful without trying to look 20. That's not this video. That is not this channel actually, because we're not here to try to look 20, 30. We just want to look our best at whatever age we are, and sometimes wearing the wrong product can actually work against us. So we're going to cover those today. In addition to products that you may want to stay away from if you are an aging woman, is the application of some products. Not only does our skin texture change as we get older, but we also lose collagen. In fact, I don't know if you guys have had this happen. I will have ended my day looking in the mirror, putting on night cream, and with the magic of sleep, I've lost more collagen and my face is almost unrecognizable the next day. It happens so fast. So if you tend to let out a slight groan when you go to sit down, stand up, or bend over, or if you've ever danced in your underwear to old time rock and roll, then you are the right age bracket for all the things that we're going to talk about today. All right, first up, I want to talk about my hair so we can get that out of the way because this is more of a makeup video, but I do get questions on my DM on Instagram, which I'll leave my Instagram right down there for you, but I get questions on extensions. I don't have hair extensions. I've always had thicker hair. Now, that is no longer the case. I have a lot less hair than I used to, but one of the things that I like to do, especially before I'm going to film or if I'm going to be out doing something, is I will just take a section of my hair. And I'm just going to share this with you guys real quick, and then I promise we'll get on to the beauty stuff. And then I just like to take some dry shampoo. I just use the Orbe one. You don't have to use this one. Any dry shampoo that you like, that works for you. I just spray it on the side that I'm holding up so that I give some texture to that side. I don't like to spray it on the side that's down because all that's going to do is add weight and make it heavier and stick closer to my head. So I like to put it on this side so that it's the underside. And then I take this little hair scrubber, and I got this one from Sephora last year, and I just kind of scrub that around, besides the fact it just feels amazing. But I like to just move that product around with this, and it gives a little bit of remember the old days where you used to tease your hair and get a nice volume out of it? That's just what I do, and it's super easy. I mean, this is probably under $10. I'll link a couple of these down below. They feel amazing, but I just like the way that moves the hair around without having to back comb it, because I don't feel like I'm as coordinated to do that anymore as maybe I once was. And that's really all I do. So I'm just gonna do this side real quick. Otherwise, the whole video, you guys will be looking at my lopsided head and not focus on the valuable information I am gonna share with you today. And then the last thing I would do is do it across the back just to give it a little lift there, but you can't see the back of my hair today, so we're gonna get on to some of the beauty makeup stuff for why you're really here today. Before we talk about makeup products specifically, having hydrated, exfoliating skin is more important than any of the products that you're gonna put on, whether they're good or bad for your more mature skin. Because if you have not exfoliated, what that means is you've got dry skin patches, dry skin flakes on your skin, and as you go to put any type of a product, whether it's a cream blush or whether it's a powder or anything, it's gonna grab onto that flake of skin, absorb it, and then it's gonna look very patchy on your face. So having an exfoliant is a really important key into your skincare routine, and there are several different types of exfoliant that you can use. I like to use the Super Brightening Pads by e.l.f. These have alpha hydroxy acid on them, so it's a nice soft exfoliant that you can just rub all over your skin. I would do it a few times a week. It's not super strong. If you find that you're a little sensitive, then just scale back a day or two. That helps ensure that you're starting with a nice smooth surface for your foundation. The next thing is the hydration. The best foundation in the world will not look good on dehydrated skin. And you'd really want to start hydrating your skin the day before, drinking lots of water, incorporating that into your daily routine. That's all stuff that you guys know. But in terms of surface hydration, adding a moisturizer to your skin after your sunscreen in the morning, so serum, sunscreen, moisturizer, makeup. Adding that moisturizer is really important so that you're getting your skin plumped up so that the application of the makeup is going to look much more flawless. And whatever kind of foundation you're using, you'll get the best result on more hydrated skin. Now, you don't have to spend a fortune for moisturizer, but you do want to use it on a regular basis. The biggest key to a moisturizer is to find one that works best for your skin. If you have oily skin, then you're going to want to use a moisturizer specifically designed to address oily skin so that you don't have a lot of oil coming through all day, which then is going to mix with your water-based foundation and you're going to start to get that separation. So you'll want to find a moisturizer that helps with oil control and a mattifying primer, but we'll talk about that when we get to primers. If you have dry skin, then you're going to want to find a good moisturizer that really helps to hydrate your skin throughout the course of the day. And then you're going to want to find something with niacinamide in it, because niacinamide helps to provide a barrier to your skin, really locking in your skin's own moisture and then using your moisturizer on top to hydrate and plump your skin. I use the L'Oreal Collagen Moisture Filler. It's a light enough moisturizer that it works really nice with skin and doesn't interact with primer if you choose to use one, and it also doesn't interact with my foundations. Another reason why I like this one so much is it has a very, very soft, slight fragrance. It's not overbearing, and it is a water-based moisturizer, and the majority of my favorite foundations are water-based, so I know that it won't separate from my foundation. Have you ever had that when you look in the mirror a few hours after you put on your makeup and you're like, why does it look like my foundation has gone 6 blocks to the left? Well, it's because you have probably put an oil-based foundation on top of a water-based moisturizer or vice versa. So this one is easy. It takes the guesswork out for me, and I like how lightweight it is, so I don't feel like I've got a heavy moisturizer on and then foundation. The first product mistake you want to avoid is not looking at the base ingredient of your concealer and your foundation. Now, what I mean by that is if you have an oil-based concealer, then you want to use an oil-based foundation. If you use water-based, which is more of the formulas nowadays, then you want to just ensure that both formulas are water-based. And the easiest way to do that is just go to the ingredient list and you'll see right away whether it's oil-based or it's water-based. Now, if you find that you have a foundation that you absolutely love and it is a water base, but you've got a concealer that you absolutely love and it is an oil base, and it is working for you, you're getting the coverage that you need, and more importantly, you're finding that it's blending flawlessly and not separating, you have found a combination that works well for you. Normally what you'll see is it'll start to separate. So you'll start to see where one will wear differently and start to separate itself from the other. And we know that the key to a good foundation look is a very seamless, smooth transition from your concealer to your foundation. So next up, let's talk about primer. Now, primer is fine if you have more mature skin. When it goes wrong is when you use the wrong kind of primer for your specific skin type. So it's really important to understand if you have oily skin or if you have dry skin, and what is it that you're wanting the primer to do. One of the reasons I love primers is because it just gives a nice blur to the skin. It helps fill in the pores and provides a smooth canvas for your foundation or your tinted moisturizer. And it can also help give a nice glow to your skin, and it helps your foundation wear longer. Now, if you have oily skin, then you may want to use a mattifying primer, and what that does is it helps take away the shine. If you tend to have more dry skin, then stay away from mattifying primers because you don't want to lock in or hold back that glow. You really want that to come through. So finding the right primer is important, or you can skip it altogether. But if your skin is extremely dry or extremely oily, then I would highly recommend a primer. Oily skin, mattifying primer. Dry skin, more of a glow primer that helps smooth out your skin while giving your foundation something to stick to. All right, so let's move on to foundations. Now, foundations don't have to be nearly as scary or as intimidating as they may seem. The first thing that you need to identify is your skin type, which we've done earlier. So once you know if you have oily skin or dry skin, you know if you want water-based or oil-based, then it just comes down to how do you want the finish to look. And as we age, again, as I mentioned earlier, our skin tends to get a little bit more dull. So you want to stay away from matte foundations. Now, that is a caveat because some of the newer foundations that are coming out have matte in the title, but I don't find them to be truly matte. But if you find a foundation that dries down to a matte, you really want to avoid that unless that's the look that you're going for. As we age, if you wear a matte foundation, which is just a typically more drying look, on already dry skin, it can really add age to your appearance. Same it can be said for tinted moisturizers. There's tinted moisturizers and BB creams that also have a matte finish. So you just want to avoid those unless you're specifically going for that really dry down, matte, blurred, unshiny look. So here's where it can get fun, and think about it like making cookies. It's a little bit of a recipe. If you love a matte foundation, but you don't always want a matte look, then you just need to add a little bit of a glow to your foundation, mix it softly, and then you can put that on your skin so that day you are a little bit more glowy than normal. As a general rule, matte is not our friend as we age. While we're talking about matte, we cannot leave out matte lipstick. Now, matte lipstick can be beautiful. In fact, you probably see it everywhere on Instagram, social media, magazine covers on a younger lip. And it does look really pretty. It's a very popular look. Now, matte lipsticks have a way of magically going into your lips and drying them out to the point of no return, and they look cracked and old and agey. And it really has a tendency to settle into fine lines. In addition, matte lipsticks often contain alcohol, which can be super uber drying on our already delicate, thinning lips. The next product that you might be using that's aging your appearance is the wrong concealer. Now, if the concealer is too thick, it's really going to accentuate any lines, fine lines that you get under your eyes. And unfortunately, that's just where we start to show our age more than anywhere else on our face. We all have them, you guys. There's no concealer on the market that can hide your fine lines and wrinkles. But really the reason you want to use a concealer is because the discoloration under your eyes is what we're really trying to conceal. And so if you're using a thick concealer to get rid of discoloration, maybe you're a little more purple or a little more blue under your eyes, then you might be going about it the wrong way. You're better off using a thin color corrector and then putting a little bit of concealer over it, or use color corrector and then apply a light coloring of your foundation right on top of it so that it is a consistent color, but that color corrector has helped neutralize any of the oranges, purples, blues, whatever it is that you have under your eyes. And the good news when it comes to color correcting is there is a color corrector to correct your bad color. For everyday use, I like to use this dullness eraser. This is by Makeup Forever. And I'm a little bit more purpley under the eyes, so I go for a bright yellow one. And it is just a nice thin consistency that I would just take about that much and rub it underneath my eyes, really press it in and get rid of any of the discoloration and neutralize that under eye area. And then after I've put on my foundation, I just take what's left on that foundation brush and just press it into and over that color corrector. That way you're not using something that's so thick that you're really accentuating those fine lines and wrinkles. So let's talk about the eyebrows for a second. When it comes to eyebrows and aging your face, it really is a matter of applying the wrong tone of eyebrow pencil or eyebrow gel. You want to be sure that you include your eyebrows in your makeup application because thinning brows is a telltale sign for age. So if you don't do anything with your brows and they're thin, then you've left out a critical part of your overall look and therefore adding age to your face. And finding the right undertone of eyebrow pencil or eyebrow gel is simple, but it's another important step. Now, unless you have extremely cool undertones to your skin, you're going to want to find a neutral or slightly warm eyebrow pencil or eyebrow gel. Because if you add a eyebrow color that is too cool, it can have a tendency to ice your look or cool your look or age your look. I have more cool undertones, but I like to use a slightly warm eyebrow pencil. This was a trick I learned years ago in modeling school because a warmer eyebrow pencil just adds life to the face and warms up the face. Now this next one I've talked about in other videos and I always get some comments on this one. There's no rules in makeup. That's what I love about makeup, and what makes everybody look special and unique in their own way is the way they apply their makeup and the way they choose to use different products. But shimmery, glittery products, whether they are powder or cream, is not typically in our favor as we mature. So what I'm talking about specifically is shimmery eyeshadow or a lot of shimmer on the cheeks. Because shimmer and glitter have a tendency to have a lot of particles in them that all reflect light, every angle that that product is on, whether it's in a wrinkle, whether it's on a side, whether it's on a little bit of a bump, whether it's on a dry patch, it's reflecting all that light, drawing attention to exactly that part of your skin that is not your favorable part. You want to minimize attracting your eye to those areas by using more of a matte eyeshadow or a little bit less glow right through your cheeks. So now you're probably really confused, but let me make this simple for you. Eyes and cheeks, matte is okay. Foundation and lip, matte is not okay. That's where you want to have matte. Also, along your cheek where it's a large surface, there is some angling there. You'd want to have more of a matte there so that you're not highlighting uneven skin. Now, the first thing you can do if this video seems really confusing is A, save the video so you can go back to it. But if you have dry skin, start to incorporate more cream products in lieu of powder products, such as more of a cream eyeshadow, cream blush, cream contour, less powder products. Powder products, as we age, is really best suited for more oily skin so that powder can absorb some of that oil. Powder products on dry skin will cause you frustration to the point where you won't even want to do your makeup anymore, and you don't want to leave the house with makeup on because it just looks really harsh, it looks very cakey, and it can look as though you're 10 years older than your actual age. Now, the last one that we want to talk about is just the blush, and you want to just ensure that the blush is not too dark for your overall look. In fact, as we age, I really recommend undersculpting, where you apply your cream blush, your cream contour, any of your facial products, and then you put your foundation over it. It just gives a nice uniformed veil of consistent color over your entire makeup look and just allows everything to look more flawless, and that all those colors are coming from underneath your foundation, because essentially they are, because you've put your foundation over it. Not too long ago, I did a complete tutorial on how to undersculpt, the techniques to use, how to apply the undersculpting, what type of brushes to use. So I'll link that down below in the description box in case you want to learn more about how to undersculpt and achieve that flawless foundation look. I know that was a lot of information, but by just changing out a few of your beauty products and getting rid of some of the ones that we talked about today and incorporating some of the different ones, I think you'll really enjoy the final result of your makeup, and hopefully you'll have a lot better makeup days. Just remember that you are beautiful with or without makeup. Makeup just is fun. It's just a fun thing for us to do, but you don't need it. You are beautiful inside and out. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much, and I will see you again real soon.